Hey, this is Kurt the Boat Doctor. Hey, out here in this 2250 Ultra Centrecab Stabicraft, I tell you, I think this is my favorite boat. 22, I don't think anybody can beat this boat. As far as being out in rough water, you get your noses up high out of the water so it doesn't dig in. Stable as all get out, turns on a dime, plenty of power. I think this is the best 22 I've rode in. I don't think I put it up against like 27 and 8s as far as rough water. I mean, look how stable this thing is out here. Now what I'm going to do is drop this anchor real quick. Hopefully they tied the rope off. Well, you got a lot of chain on here, I'll tell you that. And then we'll see what happens here. Now you can tell off the rope slop up there. When it starts getting loose, then you know you're at the bottom. Right there. So I should be at the bottom. Now I'll see if it swings me over. Yep, there you go. So we're just sitting here, got the anchor lights on, got the 6YC gauge already wired up for the Fusion stereo. Boy, that water's ripping, it's coming in. So anyway, we're anchored out. And you got washers on here. Like I say, I went through all the lights and stuff, the deck lights, the tuna tubes, I'll show you that real quick. Wiper, that works. Steering needs to be bled. They need to adjust the bunks, yeah, and it's holding this. So that's good. Trim tabs work. He put the slicks on it, waiting for the load guides. In the saltwater 2 series prop, on any of the V6, 3.6, 4.2s, I believe, gear cases can handle the stainless, and you don't really get a lot of vibration. But you go with some of the less expensive stainless, they'll vibrate. All boats have a vibrate point, but especially stainless. But this stainless, I mean, you get it, but it really, there's a big difference as far as performance. It does about 48. I can get 49. Fuel range about 200 miles, and that's at say 29 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. Wide open, it was 27 gallons an hour, about 2.2 miles to the gallon. Now, if you get her down to about 3,800, which you're cruising, about 4,000, you're turning about 35 miles an hour. So if you get this thing down to about, like I say, run at 3,500 right in there, which would be 29. That's burning about 8.9 gallons an hour. So you can get, so say 8.9. So yeah, it's almost, it's 8, 9, 8. So that's 10. There's 10 hours. About 10 hours of driving time at 29 miles an hour. That's pretty good. At 25, you definitely could do it. That's down to 7.5. Anyway, real nice. Make sure you put the drain plug in there, because if you don't, and I even got my little buddy heater in here. Actually, I found out you get more heat if you take this and turn it over here. But the problem is, if you really get on it, you could throw the heater out. So that's why I got it turned this way. Well, we're stopped right now. What I'm going to do, you got grab handles, USB ports. I'm going to zip up my coat, put on my hood real quick. Well, maybe not. So I'm going to show you all the tuna tubes and everything when we're stopped. Come on, baby. I don't want to lose too much of my heat. So I'm going to turn on my bait tank, tuna tubes, bilge pump them, then put it on auto. I'm going to get out here. You can see this working. You got it right here. It needs to be tightened up with this a little bit. Now these I got turned off, so you want to turn these on. There's your water there. See the water coming in there? That's working. And then your tuna tubes are working. But you got to remember, you got to shut these things off if you're not using them, because if you don't, they're just going to pump water in there. Oh, wow. It is different in here, a lot warmer. So I'm going to turn that off, leave my bilge on auto, turn my wipers on to see where I'm at. See when you're bringing the anchor up. The current's going to take me that way anyway, so I'm going to fire the motor up because they're both going to go this way. That just helps it so I don't drain the battery. Now you hear the chain? Just keep going. Now there's a lot of chain in here. So I'm going to stop here for a second, let that anchor calm down. I'm going to stop again. Stop. Stop. See, now I can tell that it's almost coming up. There, and just whack it. You're good to go. Then you just put it in gear. Now I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to turn this hard to the right. Now watch this. If you can see, it's kind of poopy out here today. But this thing will just sit here and spin. I'm going to trim it down. That was even trimmed up. Look at that. No blowing out, nothing. Now, same thing in reverse. Got that arrow design when they go like this and like this in the rear. Now this is hard over. Now watch this. If I play this right, I can just steer in one spot. Now look at that reverse power. That's pretty amazing. Then you hit it. And heaven forbid, don't turn this about 35 miles an hour. Don't crank the wheel, or you're going to go that way, or people are going to go on your lap. Now here, right about here is where I can feel the vibration, and that is normal. Good visibility. And the windows ain't steamed up. Now I'll show you here. Out of the whole shot. Right here. 1, 2, 3. About 2.5 seconds to plane. Trim tabs you can steer back on. If you wanted to, you can steer off of these. Now what I do is I trim up right now to where it starts to trim. I mean steer good to the left and the right. I trim this motor, then I leave it alone. The faster you go, the more you can trim. Kind of hard to see out here today. Okay, so right about here, about 36, yeah, 7.9, and that's doing 29 miles an hour. 27.7. That's where you get probably about, let me see, 3 miles to the gallon. 2 times, about 200 miles. Now I'm going to open it up. Plenty of power. It should turn 6,000. 48 miles an hour. 6,000. We're cooking. I'm going to trim down so it's easy to, there you go. Then you'll feel it starting to get easy to steer again. Alright, about all I got to show you. Like I say, I love this boat. It gets rough, I like to be in this sometimes better than I would a bigger boat. I mean, it's so stable. And like I say, I've been out here in some nasty stuff coming in off the jetty. And like I say, I feel real safe on this. And like I say, there's not another 22 that could even come close to this, I don't think. It may be quieter, but it ain't going to handle like this boat. All right, this is a 2250 Ultra Centrecab. Awesome boat, man. Like I say, it's pretty much well, what do you call it? Unsinkable. Virtually unsinkable. Anything sinkable, but it'd be kind of hard. Okay, Boat Doctor out.